coronavirus may be a blood vessel disease, which explains everything. In the month of April, blood clots emerge as one of the many mysterious symptoms attributed to COVID 19, a disease that had initially been thought it largely affect the lungs in the form of pneumonia. Quickly after came reports of young people dying due to coronavirus related strokes. Next, it was COVID toes, painful red purple digits. What do all of these symptoms have in common? An impairment in blood circulation. Add in the fact that 40% of deaths from COVID 19 are related to cardiovascular complications, and the disease starts to look like a vascular infection instead of a purely respiratory one. Months into the pandemic, there is now a growing body of evidence to support the theory that the novel coronavirus can infect blood vessels, which could explain not only the high prevalence of blood clots, strokes, and heart attacks, but also an answer for the diverse set of head to toe symptoms that had emerged. All this COVID associated complications were a mystery. We see blood clotting, we see kidney damage, we see inflammation of the heart, we see stroke, we see encephalitis or the swelling of the brain. This is according to Williams Lee, doctor and president of the Angiogenesis Foundation. A whole myriad of seemingly unconnected phenomena that you do not normally see with SARS or H1N1 or frankly most infectious disease. If you start to put all of the data together that emerging, it turns out that the virus is probably a vasculotropic virus, meaning that it affects the blood vessel, says Mandip Mira, a doctor of medicine, and at the same time, medical director of Brigham and Women's Hospital Heart and Vascular Center. In a paper published in April in the scientific journal, The Lancet, Dr. Mira and a team of scientists discovered that the SARS-CoV-2 virus can infect the endothelial cells that line the inside of the blood vessels. And endothelial cells protect the vascular system, and they release proteins that influence everything from blood clotting to the immune response. In his paper, the scientists showed damage to endothelial cells in the lungs, in the heart, kidney, liver, intestines, and people with COVID 19. The concept that's emerging is that it is not a respiratory illness alone. This is a respiratory illness to start with, but it is actually a vascular illness that kills people through its involvement of the vasculature, said Dr. Mira. A respiratory virus infecting blood cells and circulating through the body is virtually unheard of. This is one kind of a respiratory virus. SARS-CoV-2 is thought to enter the body through ACE2 receptors present on the surface of the cells that line the respiratory tract in the nose and throat. Once in the lungs, the virus appears to move from the alveoli, the air sacs in the lung, into the blood vessels, which are also in ACE2 receptor. The virus enters the lungs if it destroys the lung tissue and people start coughing. The destruction of the lungs tissue breaks open some blood vessels, said Dr. Mitra. Then it starts to infect endothelial cell after endothelial cell creates a local immune response and inflames the endothelium. A respiratory virus infecting blood vessels and circulating through the body is virtually unheard of. Influenza virus like H1N1 are not known to do this, and the original SARS virus, a sister coronavirus to the current infection, did not spread past the lung. Other types of virus such as Ebola or dengue can damage endothelial cells, but they are very different from viruses that typically infect the lungs. Thank you.